In the heart of a dense forest stood an ancient grove, known as the Whispering Woods. Legend had it that the trees in this grove were cursed, haunted by the restless spirits of those who had perished within its shadowy depths. Many tales circulated among the nearby villages of travelers, disappearing without a trace, swallowed by the eerie silence that pervaded the forest. Among those who dared to venture into the Whispering Woods was a group of curious teenagers: Sarah, Jake, Emily, and Ben. They had heard the stories, but dismissed them as mere superstition, eager to explore the mysteries that lay hidden within the ancient trees. As they entered the forest, a sense of unease settled over them. The air was thick with a palpable tension, and the rustling of leaves sounded like whispers, as if the very trees were conspiring against them. Sarah, the bravest of the group, led the way, her flashlight cutting through the darkness like a beacon. But no matter how far they walked, the trees seemed to stretch endlessly before them, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. "Are we lost?" Emily whispered, her voice trembling with fear. "We can't be," Jake replied, though his own doubts were beginning to gnaw at him. "We just need to keep going straight." But no matter how straight they walked, the path seemed to twist and turn, leading them deeper into the heart of the forest. And with each step, the whispers grew louder, a chorus of unseen voices, murmuring unintelligible words that sent shivers down their spines. Suddenly, Ben stopped in his tracks, his eyes wide with terror. "Did you hear that?" he whispered. The others fell silent, straining their ears to listen. And then they heard it. A low, guttural growl echoing through the trees, sending a chill down their spines. Without a word, they turned and ran, their footsteps pounding against the forest floor as they fled from whatever unseen horror lurked in the darkness. But no matter how fast they ran, the forest seemed to stretch endlessly before them, trapping them in its tangled embrace. They ran until they could run no more, collapsing to the ground in exhaustion. And as they huddled together, trembling with fear, they heard it, the sound of footsteps approaching through the darkness. With a sinking feeling in the pit of their stomachs, they turned to face the source of the sound. And there, emerging from the shadows, stood a figure cloaked in darkness, its eyes gleaming with malice. "Who are you?" Sarah demanded, her voice quivering with fear. The figure said nothing, its gaze fixed on them with an intensity that sent chills down their spines. "We need to get out of here," Jake whispered, his voice barely audible over the pounding of his heart. But before they could move, the figure spoke, its voice like ice slicing through the silence of the forest. "You trespass in my domain," it hissed, its voice filled with a cold, otherworldly rage. "You have awakened forces beyond your comprehension." And with that, the figure lunged forward, its hands outstretched as if to grab them. With a scream, they scrambled to their feet and ran, their hearts pounding in their chests as they fled from the creature that hunted them. They ran until they could run no more, their lungs burning with exertion as they collapsed to the ground, their bodies trembling with fear and exhaustion. And as they lay there, gasping for breath, they realized with horror that they were no longer alone. For all around them, the shadows seemed to come alive, twisting and writhing like tendrils of smoke as they closed in around them. With a sinking feeling in the pit of their stomachs, they realized that they were trapped at the mercy of the malevolent forces that lurked within the Whispering Woods. And as the darkness enveloped them, swallowing them whole, they knew that they would never escape its grasp, doomed to wander the cursed forest for all eternity.